Ah man, shout out Fantastic Hip Hop. We got why Kendrick Lamar just made Drake look pathetic again. If you didn't hear my reaction, SZA just dropped her deluxe Lana. Kendrick 30 for 30. That was a banger. In my opinion, I like the song. Some people said it was alright. I'm not gonna put that over Luther. I ain't gonna lie, Luther's one of them. Yeah, feel me, like, but that is not to say that was a bad feature. That was a good song, man. Nice ass track. You already know what it was. We got Fantastic Hip Hop though covering. I'm guessing what it was. I see SZA on the thumbnail covering what just went down, yo. You already know what time it is. Yo, god damn, yo, what a year, man. God, yo, we're gonna look back at this year. God, we are going, yo, we are going to look back at this year and be like, dang. Like, jeez. Like, anyways, man, let's see what's up. Let's see what this man gotta say.
Now, closing out what has been one of the best years for hip hop music in a very long time, we have gotten what is seemingly the last moment from Kendrick Lamar in what has been one of the greatest single year runs we have ever seen from an MC, as on his fellow TDE member SZA's deluxe version of her 2022 album SOS Lana, which finally came out after so much hype and speculation. Kendrick Lamar has given us his second feature verse of the year on the track 30 for 30, and with this song, with some of the bars Kendrick is throwing out here, which in terms of what they were saying content-wise are surprising.
Yo, that was catchy, bro. I ain't gonna lie. The hook, they got one. They did 3 back-to-back features. Man, Drake. I mean, I know this title says make Drake look pathetic, but hey, I'm just glad we got good music. That's all I'm really stoked about. We got some good music, man, you know what I'm saying? That's all that matters, man. Drake, hopefully, you know what I mean, looks at this, gets angry enough to get back in his introspective bag and actually, you know what I'm saying, drop some heat, bro. You feel me? Drop some good heat, man. Do I think that's gonna happen anytime soon? Yeah, I don't. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't see it happening, but hey.
Surprisingly aggressive for an R&B cut, people are speculating that he is dissing Drake once again here, and when you actually look into the song's lyrics, with the way Kendrick is talking and really celebrating everything that has went down this year from him and his collaborators as a whole, and then also see the grand picture and references Kendrick is making, what Kendrick is doing here is not actually dissing Drake, but is just straight up trolling and making fun of him in one of the most hilarious ways we have seen. And once you realize what this feature is exactly alluding to, you're gonna see just how tapped in Kendrick Lamar is with everything that's going on. And now before we get any further into this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, it helps me out a ton. And so now with this new song from Kendrick and SZA, after Kendrick Lamar spent the entirety of 2024 rapping like not just the best rapper on the planet, but also the most competitive MC as well, who every time he stepped in the booth had to deliver a top tier performance or people would have tried to discredit him. Here he knows that in this era, after all of the beef, which of course he was crowned the winner of in every single way possible, and with the release of his album GNX, which is breaking so many records and even after a month of sales, is still selling over 100K every week. All of this has more than
Dang. Wow. What was that, the third sale? I mean, 4th week or 3rd week? 4th week. Wow, bro. Remains at number 2 on Billboard. What's number 1? Still, that's insane, though. That's, yeah, 4th week on it, okay? Sorry, on its way to plat, bro. Yeah, no, GNX is a banger, bro. GNX is a solidified banger album.
All of this has more than proved that no rapper can even come close to what Kendrick is doing in this moment. Man. And because of how far he is at the top, he can now lower the intensity and aggression down, and this is exactly what he does here. And overall on this cut 30 for 30, this is what allows for it to feel so refreshing and atmospheric, even compared to the other Kendrick and SZA collabs on GNX. But even with Kendrick showing off his melodic side, which sounds more polished and refined than ever, he still manages to show that he is the most skilled rapper alive, but in a much different way, as through this melodic banger, Kendrick is still being as competitive as ever, as he is subtly alluding to Drake on this track and whoever else may have been tiptoeing around his name, but mainly is just taunting and really poking fun at Drake and the absolute mess his career is in right now as a whole. And this is what's so clever about this song, because if Gloria from GNX was the outro for Kendrick Lamar's 2024 run, 30 for 30 is the epilogue, where Kendrick is looking back on everything even further removed from these events and is just adding a whole entirely new perspective to it. And so when it comes to this lyrical performance and how it's just letting Drake quietly know that Kendrick is still seeing everything he's doing and is just laughing at him because of how humiliating it is, Before we even get to Kendrick's actual bars, with the song title itself 30 for 30, Drake has a song from What a Time to Be Alive called 30 for 30 Freestyle, and while when I saw people trying to connect this online, I thought it was just nothing. When you realize that this is—
Bro, I seen that online as well. I literally skipped past it. Like, bro, as soon as I seen a 30 for 30, I was like, all right, bro, not everything's gonna be like that. But hey, for a second, I thought he was gonna bring up something, because am I wrong? Let me know if I'm wrong, gang. Let me know if I'm wrong.
This is the track from Drake where he is rapping about how the industry has come together to try and end his run at the top. And ever since Drake decided to go after his label, Not Like Us as a whole, and a lot of other major industry powers in his suit, this song has been
bro, we gotta cover that as well. Apparently Spotify responded to the boy. You know what I'm saying? They're like, hey, we ain't part of nothing, bro. What you on? What you on about? We about to check that out. That video is coming up, so stay tuned. Subscribe if you're new, by the way. Subscribe for your boy. We trying to get to 8K. Be very appreciated if you subscribe. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Reference non-stop by OVO and his community, as they seemingly think it was Drake predicting the future. This title seems to be very intentional on Kendrick's end, and again, even when he's making fun of Drake, when you remember the tone of this track is supposed to be very light and fun compared to everything else he has dropped this year. Kendrick is both trying to mock Drake and what he is doing within this moment in time, as he just pulled out the saddest and most pathetic move ever to try and change the narrative of a rap beef. And when in the hook of this track, Kendrick is repeating "I'm 30 for 30" over and over again, this seems like Kendrick's way of saying that it's not the industry who ended his reign, no matter how much he wants that to be, so he can try to cope with the fact that he lost in the biggest rap beef of the century, but that it's actually just Kendrick who outplayed him in the beef. And now on the second verse of this track, Kendrick seems to—
Yo, I have a point. It could be low key. It could be that, you know. Hey, yo, that would be crazy if he added that back up. I'm still on the fence where, I don't know, man. Yo, y'all gotta let me know in the comments, because I'm not too sure. I'm not gonna make too many assumptions on like what's right and what's wrong. But I will say that is a great, you know what I mean? That's a great connection right there. That's a great connect. That does make sense. Let me know in the comments.
To send out another comedic jab Drake's way, which references some of the moments we all went crazy over earlier in this. He says, "You F with that's thinking they cuter than you. Oh, say you on your cycle." A lot of people in my comments were getting on me for missing this bar. Like, thank you for that. By the way, the person that left that comment, bro. Hey, yo, he's still, dang, Kendrick, he's not letting go, man. And you got, hey, yo, they've been talking the most when this man was silent, so I don't, you know what I mean? Well, but
they've been fucking with niggas that thinking they're cuter than you. Oh, they say he's on the cycle, but he's on his period, dude.
On his period too. And this seems to be another jab at Drake, and also Kendrick's way of laughing at SZA for the run of songs she did with Drake back in 2023, and specifically the song and music video from RBD. As considering that this song with Drake and SZA was the more popular record that they did during the For All the Dogs era, and that Sexy Red was featured on this track, and considering how this bar seems to be an extension of the line from Euphoria about Drake standing next to her and what he thinks when he's doing that, all in all, this just seems like an extension of that all-time great line, and a way for Kendrick to playfully laugh at SZA for her little run that she had with Drake in 2023. Which I'm sure now that looking back on these events, seeing Drake so playfully run alongside somebody who represents Top Dog Entertainment at its highest level and somebody who is so close with Kendrick definitely also pushed him to drop the verse he did on Like That in the first place. And now bringing this master performance in trolling full circle, on the outro of this song, Kendrick asked the chat—
I don't think it was that personal. You feel me? I mean, you know what I mean? It's just her own person. You feel me? Could do whatever. I'm pretty sure they dated, so it's like, whatever. I don't think it's all.
If he should just go all out like he did this year one more time. And now, of course, by saying chat, Kendrick is not just asking the audience if they want to see more, but by specifically using the motif of a chat room. This really seems to be the full circle way of—
because that's one of the things I was looking at the most. Chat. Hold on. Did I miss something there?
On the outro of this song, Kendrick asked the chat if he should just go all out.
Chat, do I do my stuff and take it to the max? Chat, they chat in the chat. Hey, yo.
Out like he did this year one more time. And now, of course, by saying chat, Kendrick is not just asking the audience if they want to see more, but by specifically using the motif of a chat room. This really seems to be the full circle way of letting Drake know to stop looking like a clown the way he has been for months. Because we have seen Drake's all-time crash out since the beef nowhere more directly than on live streams. Because from the recent stream he was on where he just ranted the whole time about how rap was weird and how he only believes in the truth and not the fiction that Kendrick was saying to win the beef, and then throughout this entire stream Drake just kept asking the chat what they wanted to see him do and say, to even when Drake jumped in a live stream chat and typed in custard to try and jump in on the viral meme regarding Kendrick Lamar's mustard line from TV Off. Overall, in this time where the lights are raising, Drake has been running around in chat rooms and seemingly hanging out with more streamers than he has rappers. So with Kendrick tying together this song by using the language that streamers use to communicate with their audience, this really all does seem to be intentional and Kendrick's way of just closing out this year with a fun performance that beyond these lines, celebrates and looks back at the dominance he has had over the entire field of hip-hop. But for Drake, in this time where he is dragging out this beef and its effects in a whole different way now, all of these lines that are connecting to Drake seem to be Kendrick's way of just responding to all of these current events going on within a manner that is not restarting the beef in a back and forth way, because we all know that for Kendrick, his job is over in that regard, and he really doesn't need to diss Drake anymore because his career is already within a pathetic state. But even with that said, still, because of everything Drake is doing, and because of how crazy, ridiculous, and really pivotal to the future of the genre what Drake is doing right now as a whole is, Kendrick needed to acknowledge these things through some faint lyrical messaging, and the fact that Lamar was able to let us know that he has tapped into these current events and thinks that Drake is just as pathetic as the rest of us do, without even mentioning his name, and with the way Drake listens to music, unless somebody tells him, overall he'll probably never even find out. And tying these things together even further, when you look at the first lines Kendrick says on this track, which really call out all of his competition.
Some of y'all just gonna talk, but none of y'all ain't really bout shit. Some of y'all just look lost. man.
For the way they
I didn't even, listen now, because I didn't really catch the lyrics when I was reacting. I was just vibing, bro. But seeing it now, it's like, god dang.
Look at the first lines Kendrick says on this track.
And by the way, if you didn't see my reaction, go check out my reaction. I literally just reacted to the song. You feel me? That was a banger.
Call out all of his competition for the way they have been acting and how they actually can't compete with him in reality. Every one of these bars just aligns with what Drake is doing, and maybe even other people who have been speaking about Kendrick as well negatively, which altogether just ties this track as a whole as being this grand statement to the entire rap game one last time from Kendrick, where he is telling everybody that no matter what they do, they are not on his level. And so now with all of this, when you put this amazing song in perspective with this moment in time, Kendrick has just ended 2024 with another masterclass in lyrical skill, and while some people may think this is all too cryptic, Kendrick has sent out subliminals like this through a lot of his career, and especially over the past few years, because leading up to this beef with Drake...
Here's the one thing I know. When you go back to the America Needs a Has a Problem, whatever it was called, the joint by Beyonce, hey yo, Kendrick was talking in that track, bro. He was alluding to something in that track. Go back to them lyrics. So yeah, anything he says, he definitely is being cryptic to the whole thing, bro. Definitely, 100%. I believe it.
While it was impossible to tell back then, knowing what we know now, the dual pair of verses Kendrick dropped in 2023 with both the Hillbillies with Baby Keem and on his remix he did from Beyonce's Renaissance album were alluding and really predicting what was going to happen with Drake in 2024. Because from a verse where he was talking...
Me and this guy on the same wavelength, bro. Stop playing, bro.
About somebody's career that didn't come with no insurance and that if it was gone, it wouldn't be able to be rebuilt, which was seemingly foreshadowing everything we saw in their back and forth, to the Hillbillies with Baby Keem, where Kendrick and Keem interpolated Drake's track Sticky from Honestly Nevermind. And while most people thought they were paying homage to Drake at the time, which now just sounds so ridiculous, they really were just mocking the low level of artistry Drake was bringing to the table, while at the same time showing that Kendrick can do what Drake does, but marginally better. And as the Hillbillies is a track that was beloved by fans and also Grammy nominated.
Yeah, you got that one eye, bruh. I ain't gonna lie, this is when I started looking at Kendrick a little side eye, you feel me? Start getting a little, you feel me? You even got a little cousin doing that. That's crazy, bro. You know these conspiracies, especially nowadays, they going wild.
Nominated. And Sticky is a song that is seen as something that is slightly better than the horrible album it's from. Again, what they did really makes so much more sense now, seeing how Kendrick moved in 2024. So altogether, checking how this song mirrors the Kendrick verses that came before it, as they are not making Drake the focal point of the track, but are alluding to what was about to happen in the case of the earlier performances, and in the case of now what just happened, it's safe to say that Kendrick got the job done with what he was doing here, and beyond just lyrically humiliating Drake and everything he stands for. If Kendrick Lamar can now float this well over melodic songs, which from Luther to 3030 really is just showing us that he's elevating his entire craft and artistry to heights that we don't see for most rappers, period. With the events Kendrick and his team are preparing for the next year, if this is what the two artists who are about to go on an entire stadium tour can pull off, while we don't know what's going to follow after this era we have seen, we can more than expect that whatever is going to happen next is going to be nothing less than peak music. And so now, with all of this said, let me know. Bro, what do you think about this new song?
That's what I'm saying, bro. I feel like, this is my prediction, bro. He gonna drop most peak music album right after the Super Bowl. I mean, right after. I wanna say, I hope it's not right after the tour. That would be crazy. Right after the Super Bowl, man. Come on. Right after the Super Bowl, we gotta get that joint. Whatever it is, bro. Whatever it is. Grand National Tour can include another album. Don't gotta include the same one. Even though, you know what I mean? Because GNX was a 12 track album. If you didn't peep, that was a quick album. That was a recently made, you know what I mean, put together recordings that this man was going through. I seen something that said that he was doing in New York during the battle. He was making GNX during the battle. That's wild, which just goes to show you, yeah, brand spanking new. He said, bro, I'm gonna give y'all this, and my assumption is he did this for the Super Bowl, because in TV off he's like, yo, walking in New Orleans, you feel me? So it's like, this nigga definitely did that. So, you know what I mean, leads me off to thinking that, yeah, he's gonna drop an album after the Super Bowl, bro, and those are gonna be the real numbers, and those are gonna do wild. That's gonna be a roll out. Just imagine. I'm just waiting on it, man. I'm just waiting. That's my prediction. Let me know what your prediction is in the comments below. Knocking down these. Let me know what to react to next, bro. You already know Kendrick Lamar, SZA, the perfect duo, amazing song. You already know I'm bumping it. Let me know what's up, bro. If you bumping it, let me know. You know what I'm saying. Anyways, been your boy Ray. Hope each and every one of you have a blessed day. And I'm signing out. Peace.